I'm 64. There are some harsh realities that come with being a 64-year-old man. In this video, I'd like to share 5 of them with you. If you're in your 40s or your 50s, think of this as a preview of what might be to come. If you're in your 60s, then you might already be experiencing these things. I'd be interested to know. Leave your experiences in the comments below. This video is for you if you want to age with intention. You might not like what you hear, but you certainly won't forget it. At 64, I'm facing truths that nobody warned me about. These are things that I could have done with knowing about probably when I was 50. Certainly it would have been great to have known about them when I was 40. If I'd known about them back then, I might have prepared a little bit better than I did. But I took a lot of things for granted, and I'm going to go through these things in a little bit more detail in this video. Don't get me wrong, I haven't got any regrets. I've lived a full life. I've had a good career, a good marriage, and I've done a lot of the things that I hoped I would do by the time I reached 64 years of age. A lot of the things on my bucket list have been ticked off. I made choices 20 years ago that enabled me to live a retirement freedom lifestyle. But even with freedom, aging doesn't care. It doesn't care about your health, time. What I've learned is that early retirement gives you options, but it doesn't give you immunity. That's why I'm sharing this video with you, so that you have more choices. Let's get into it. Here are 5 harsh realities of being a 64-year-old man. Number 1, limited time left. I've recently been playing around with an online life expectancy calculator. It's provided in this country, the UK, by the Office of National Statistics. Now that is something that I definitely would not have been playing around with 20 years ago. What the life expectancy calculator is telling me is that I've apparently got a life expectancy of 85. Good grief, what a thought. Only 21 years left. The other thing that I found from the life expectancy calculator is that the most common age of death for men, here in the UK at least, is 86. So according to my life expectancy calculator, I'm not even going to make it to the most common age at death. Is it any wonder that the days are feeling shorter and the weeks are flying by fast? That's one of the things that you feel when you get to a certain age. Now I'm asking the question, is this how I want to spend today? I don't want to regret wasting time. It's not about regretting failing now. It's all about regretting wasting time. I'm hoping that I do better than 85. My Uncle Archie, he's 95. But the one thing I have noticed is after a certain age, life looks crap. When I look at him, for example, lost his wife when he was 82, his last 13 years haven't been brilliant. So that makes me think that between now, 64, and certainly 85, I want to try and cram as much of life into those years as I possibly can. Number 2 is health is everything. I've lost weeks recently to arthritis flare-ups in my knees and my feet. These flare-ups severely affected my ability to walk. I could hardly put one foot on the ground without experiencing pain, and for me, that was incredibly debilitating. As you know, if you've watched these videos, I love walking. I try to get out and do a walk for 5 miles every day. Who would have thought that such a simple thing as arthritis could flip your world upside down? But it certainly got me thinking, what if I do lose my mobility? What if I have further health complications? What if there are diagnoses in the future that I haven't even thought about yet? Who knows what the future holds? I hope I stay healthy for the next 20 or 30 years. Certainly, referring back to my Uncle Archie, he hasn't had any illness at all and he's 95 years of age. That would be great, wouldn't it? If you could live to that kind of age without experiencing any of the big illnesses, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, things like that, that often lie in wait for people of our age. What I have come to realise is that energy is as valuable a resource as time. So now I manage my days based around energy. If I don't feel like doing something because I haven't got the energy, I don't do it. If I've got plenty of energy, I cram lots of things into the day. It helps not to make too many plans. I try not to plan too far ahead. I like to go no more than about a year maximum, and I just take each day as it comes. One thing's for sure, I'm certainly not postponing things till next year if I can do them today. Number 3 is family disappears. I'm from a really small family. I'm an only child. On Christmas Day, there used to be me, my mum and dad, grandma and granddad, Uncle Archie and Auntie Jean. Just a small gathering. Every year that's what Christmas Day looked like. Now it's just me and Uncle Archie. I haven't got any other relatives from that small family group. I've got my wife and I've got my son, but other than that, I haven't got any relatives. You have to focus in on the relationships that you have now. That means spending as much time as I possibly can with my son. It means spending as much time as I possibly can with my wife. Luckily, I do enjoy her company. We've been married for nearly 40 years. We celebrate our 40th wedding anniversary in September. And believe it or not, we haven't actually planned yet what we're going to do. There's plenty of options. She wants to go to Paris or Florence. I want to sail across the Atlantic to New York. Let's see who wins. It's not about having family, it's about showing up for them. One of the things that I encourage my wife to do is to spend as much time as she possibly can with her mum and dad. They're still alive and well and in their 80s, and we go on holiday together. Me, my wife, my son and her mum and dad. That is our typical holiday. They come with us to Scotland when we go in March for a week. We go in September to Portugal for a week all together as a small family group, and we go again at Christmas. And I think it's to be actively encouraged. The moments that you spend with your family are absolutely priceless, and the memories that you make together are probably the most precious thing that you can ever have. Number 4 is shift to simplicity. I've made a concerted effort since I turned 60 to move to a simpler life. I've stopped collecting things. If I do buy anything, it's one thing in and at least 2 things out. If you watched my last video when I was at the car boot sale, I was rummaging around looking for stainless steel knives from Sheffield, the ones with the bone handles. Well, if I do find those, I can absolutely assure you, I throw things out so that the space continues to be freed up. Decluttering isn't just physical either, it's emotional, it's therapeutic. I can't tell you how much of a weight is lifted by getting rid of your stuff. I've mentioned in previous videos that we downsized to a smaller house when we were 60, and I ended up getting rid of 75% of my things, and I continue to do so. It has definitely been a great weight lifted off my mind. When the day comes, supposedly, according to the life expectancy calculator, when I'm 85, at least my son won't have a ton of stuff to clear out. There won't be a big van with house clearance emblazoned across the side coming to my house and getting rid of my stuff, that's for sure. What you do own at 64 should reflect what you value, not what you've bought. And for me, that means valuing experiences over possessions. Number 5 is avoiding grumpy old man syndrome. It's easy to believe that the past was better, the good old days. But was it? Really? I don't think it was better. It was just different. And there's no point hanging on to the past, living in the past, and only saying, oh, I was happy in the 1970s, now it's crap. I just think that is completely the wrong mindset, certainly when you get over 60. I'm learning, growing, adapting, and living for today. I enjoy now, and if that means embracing new technologies and new ways of doing things, then I'm fine with that, because one of the most important things that you can have at any age, and that includes over 60, is a growth mindset. Don't be a grumpy old git. It's a mindset. Embrace happiness. It's a choice. Be friendly to people. Don't be angry. You'll get all the mental benefits of that attitude. Because the reality is, being a grumpy old git is a negative mindset, and that can have an impact on your health. Aging doesn't have to mean everything closing. It can still mean everything opening up. The only difference is, relating back to one of my earlier points, is you haven't got quite as much time left to get on with it and do the things that you want to do. That's it. Those are the 5 harsh realities of being a 64-year-old man. So here's what you need to take on board. Time is short, spend it well. Health isn't guaranteed, protect it fiercely. Relationships are fragile, nurture them daily. Legacy matters more than accumulation. And mindset, it defines whether you age bitterly or brilliantly. Let these harsh realities of being a 64-year-old man be your wake-up call. I hope, if you're watching this, that you're in your 40s, your 50s, and you've still got plenty of time ahead of you. Start making the changes now. That way, your 60s, your 70s, your 80s, even your 90s can be wonderful years. Which of these 5 hit home for you? Let me know in the comments. What is your experience? Share these 2 in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If this video made you think differently, then watch this one next. It's the top 5 regrets of elderly retirees in their 70s and 80s. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.